Welcome to the JTV Caribbean News. I am Sean Rose. Anguilla is currently experimenting on the effectiveness of GPS satellite monitoring ankle bracelets to trace the movement of individuals who are placed on probation and are required to wear the electronic gadgets. Only certain persons on probation are required to wear the ankle bracelets based on the offenses and on recommendations made to the magistrate's court. Ryan Clark of Finex Global Technologies has been in Anguilla working with the Department of Probation and the training personnel in the fitting and operation of the ankle bracelets. Anguilla's Chief Probation Officer Joycelyn Johnson explained that Anguilla had embarked on electronic monitoring for convicted persons on probation, but the systems were unsuccessful. Johnson said they are keen to see what Finex Global Technologies has to offer, explore opportunities and test the product, then seek funding for the introduction of the GPS satellite monitoring ankle bracelets in Anguilla. Several Caribbean islands are now involved in probation monitoring systems. Guyana does not see the security of ExxonMobil assets as an issue as the company moves ahead with oil exploration. ExxonMobil Corp plans to drill its second well offshore Guyana in the first quarter of this year. More in this report from Capital News' Mark Murray.
Natural Resources Minister Raphael Trotman is making it known that government is prepared to ensure that ExxonMobil's oil and gas operations here is secured. Since ExxonMobil announced a major oil find in the Essequibo coastal waters, Venezuela has laid claims to that region, an issue that was settled years ago. With such tension between the two South American nations, Minister Trotman said Guyana is confident that it can secure its exclusive economic zone where ExxonMobil is drilling.
We're confident that no external force will pose a threat, and we are confident that we can go ahead with the development of the Liza-1 well. The government of Guyana and Exxon are quite confident and comfortable that we can secure our exclusive economic zone.
ExxonMobil commenced oil and gas exploration in Guyana in March last year by drilling offshore in the Liza-1 well in the Stabroek Block. Today, there is still an ongoing assessment of the Stabroek Block area, says Minister Trotman.
And it is believed by experts in the industry that if you find one well of significant quantities, there are likely to be similar wells nearby. So I think since July of last year, they've been doing seismic surveys, and that will come to an end. Those will come to an end in February, and there's likely to be some further drilling done in the later part of this year. Insofar as upfront payments requests, that was not done by His Excellency the President. It never came up.
Trotman said his ministry will be formalizing the foundations necessary for establishing a petroleum agency, keeping in mind lessons learned in the region and further afield.
Puerto Rico's cash-strapped government and some institutions face a worsening cash crunch that threatens to cut off their access to gasoline and electricity amid the island's economic crisis, according to officials. The government's lack of liquidity almost left the U.S. island territory's ambulances, police patrol cars, fire trucks, and other public vehicles out of gas, a threat only dispelled by a renegotiation of the country's debt to French oil giant Total. The oil company agreed to keep the fleet running while the Puerto Rico government looks for ways to reduce its debt, which currently exceeds 16 million US dollars. The deal is nevertheless only good if the government makes a $4 million payment before month end. Governor Alejandro Garcia Padilla said his administration had to prioritize among competing obligations, and that incurring a $37.3 million default allowed the government to pay public employees and issue income tax refunds. Amid escalating indebtedness, Puerto Rico's public power company also announced that it would cut electricity to 3 hospitals and clinics because they have not paid their multi-million-dollar bills. The power company cut off supply to the government's highway and the transportation authority last month because of unpaid bills. Service was restored when a payment plan was implemented. Puerto Rico's deteriorating financial situation comes as the island struggles through 9 years of economic stagnation and faces $72 billion in public debt that the governor says is unpayable and needs restructuring. And finally, in this week's Caribbean News segment, Guyana is one of 12 emerging destinations to visit this year, according to Business Insider UK. The South American country is the only Caribbean community CARICOM nation featured. Broadcast journalist and photojournalist Anisha Shah explains that 2016 is all about emerging destinations. Wilderness, wildlife, and culture. These themes will illuminate the year's travel itineraries. Escapism and authenticity are key, and nowhere offers them, quite like fledgling and far-flung nations, she said. Tourism Minister Catherine Hughes said the Guyana's unique blend of tourism products is as rich and as attractive as those found in any part of the world. She also noted that the destination has the potential to attract a wide cross-section of travelers with varying interests and the ability to lure those looking for unique adventures in off-the-beaten-path destinations. Over the years, Destination Guyana has gained other international recognition, including on National Geographic Traveler 2014's Must-See Places on Planet Earth and BBC Travel's 5 Destinations You Should Know More About. That's it for this week's edition of the JTV Caribbean News. I'm Sean Rose.
And coming up next on JTV News, BVI Business Outlook 2016 Conference weighs the future of financial services. And Wi-Fi Connection MOU helped launch a pilot information and communication technology program in 8 primary schools. In our Hot Trends feature, Sophie B speaks with leading female rapper in the VI, Monet Richardson, at her recent EP launch.